We are right around the corner from the full release of Anthem, probably one of the most anticipated and hated on games over the last several months. What I'm going to cover today is my personal experiences with the demo, what I really enjoyed about the game, and a couple areas of opportunity that I did notice. A few things I do want to get out of the way before we get started. We know everyone hates EA's business model with in-game purchases. We know there were some technical issues with the VIP and All Access demo. The company's already released a statement regarding everything and what their plan is to fix it in the future, so we're not going to jump on the giant boycott EA bandwagon. I actually want to talk about Anthem in this video. One of the most impressive parts with the game is the beautiful world they were able to create. The first thing you're going to notice about the fort is the detail and fluidity of how the fort looks and melds together. Everything from the NPCs walking around to the way that the buildings interact with the sky and the ground. The attention to detail with the graphics is phenomenal in this game. And it only gets better. Once you're done with those beginning quests, you're going to jump in your javelin and you're going to load into your first mission. Once you arrive on the map, you're going to quickly notice how well the metal structures are integrated with the soil, the rocks, and the plant life on the map. And in my opinion, the water movement effects and reflection are top tier, especially as you go in and out of the underwater zones. Another thing about the graphics I really enjoyed is combat. The game is able to keep up with the movements of your javelin from running, jumping, dashing, flying exceptionally well without decreasing the quality of the environment. Most games where there's high levels of movement, you get a really big blur. With Anthem, the quality of the background stays there as you're zooming in and out of your guns, jumping and dashing. It actually, I wouldn't say feels overall realistic because obviously it's a video game, but it looks freaking awesome. Moving on to the most important part of the graphics of this game. I've heard a lot of love and hate on how the actual system works for customizing your suit and selecting your loadouts. We do not want to debate the in-game currency, etc. We can look a little bit more into that once the game's live. However, once you actually customize your javelin, from the physical design to the colors, they are exceptionally well done and they translate into the live game beautifully. If you've already messed around with customizing your javelin from the color and armor pieces and things, put your favorite setup in the comments below. Moving on to gameplay. We all know some elements of the combat is going to feel just like Destiny and other loot and shooters out there. What sets Anthem apart from the other games in this genre is how fluid the combat actually is. You are constantly running, jumping, hovering, soaring through the air, in and out of your ultimate ability, and you're going to notice next to no downtime as you go through combat doing all of these motions. Another thing I really love is how each javelin feels different in combat. The reason I say this is in other games, regardless of what class you played, the guns and abilities are typically the same for each class outside of their ultimate abilities, or they just have really extremely similar feels. With Anthem, for example, when you're in the Colossus, you actually feel like a walking tank with a powerhouse of damage, compared to feeling like an agile elemental mage when you're playing the Storm. As far as the guns go, there's several types of guns, from pistols and rifles and shotguns, to miniguns and grenade launchers. Each of these in their own category are going to have different roles for perks and stats to mix things up as you gain loot as well. Once you combine all of that in with the combo system, you get to cause some havoc and you actually feel like your character is powerful. For those of you that have actually played or done your own research, what type of weapon loadout do you plan on using with your javelins? Let us know in the comments below. Okay, so let's talk about content. During the demo, we had a few quests to complete and some open world to explore. The quests seemed to flow very well. They did not take a large amount of time to do. I would probably say I completed most of the missions in under 30 minutes. The questline from the demo was very well put together. It was easy to follow, it created interest on why your character would want to complete it. It also added a sense of urgency with a little bit of comedy. And not to mention, you also get to give some dating advice as you go. There are several review videos out there discussing how fast we're going to get content as the game goes on, and how it's not going to launch with in-game objectives other than just the harder difficulties. My best advice for those who have not followed games like this in the past, you're going to want to make sure that you gear your character the best you can. Once the in-game objectives are released, regardless if they're raids or events or whatever they may be, you want to make sure that you're going to be geared enough to do these things. So to wrap things up, I am looking forward to the release, and I can tell you now I plan on dumping enough hours into this game to cause my wife to get very upset with me. As time goes on, I'm going to post some playthroughs and how-tos of the game, as well as a much more detailed review for those that are interested. Now, before we go, for those of you that are planning on playing Anthem, if you have not gotten a group yet, put your gamer tag and what system you plan on playing on in the comments below, and start making some teams if you've not already done so. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.